Hey, what's up, Dividend Nomads? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the title, covering a different portfolio today. This is a small portfolio that I started from scratch, and I'm growing it from zero. And basically the goal of this portfolio is to pay my rent each and every single month here in Asia. And today I'm going to show you the portfolio. I'm going to show you how much money I've been receiving in dividends from it. I'm going to talk to you about my philosophy on growing a small account from scratch. And this portfolio, what it's doing is mimicking how I got started with my larger portfolios. But I just started with, a small amount of money, and I just put in a small amount of money so I can show you guys the reality of what it's like doing this from scratch if you don't have much money to invest. So let's get into it. I'm going to record the screen on my phone here, show you the actual portfolio. Then I'm going to take you behind the scenes into the spreadsheet and show you how it's been performing since I started and share with you all the details from day one until now. And also, if you're interested in this kind of stuff and want to know more about how I actually created freedom and stuff like that in my life, not just from investing, but from other methods, I am creating a free course that I'm sharing with you guys here on YouTube. The first lesson is already up. It is like 24 lessons, but I created a playlist for that so you can, subscribe and go check those videos out. I'll be releasing at least one every week, maybe two per week. So if you want to watch the course, check it out and you'll learn basically every single thing that I did that worked for me to be able to create a life of freedom and passive income and happiness and all these things that I've created here in Asia. So anyway, let's dive into the phone, have a look at the portfolio. So let me record the screen. 3, 2, 1, bam. Okay, I'll show you guys this real quick. See, this portfolio is actually in Webull. It's not in my other accounts like Charles Schwab or Fidelity. So I'll open up Webull. I'll refresh it for you guys. You can see right now, the value of this portfolio is $4,363. Now, how did I get to this much? I started this portfolio with $300 of my own money that I put in to start the portfolio. And then after that, basically what I do is the money that I earn from YouTube, which isn't much, it usually ranges between $150 to $300 a month. Whatever YouTube pays me is how much I put into this portfolio. So it's usually around $300, maybe a little less. So that's basically how I've been growing this portfolio, is put it in the money, that money. And it pays dividends, of course. Now, oh yeah, also you can see at the very top, I'll put it there, see cash. $274 in cash is what I have in this portfolio. And that's the dividends I just received, actually. So here are the two positions that I have, and only two positions. And first of all, before we get into these, I'll tell you why. So when I first started investing, I started my other portfolio with about $25,000. And what I did was I had like 20 or 30 stocks, and I was getting paid a little bit here and a little bit there, and I wasn't making much money. And so I experimented with something and actually sold the entire portfolio, wiped it clean, and I put the whole $25,000 into two stocks. And then I started making a lot more income that way. And then as the portfolio started growing and growing and growing, I started to diversify and buy a few more stocks. Now, why do I do that? Think about it like this. This is basically what hit me and what made me realize that I was way over diversified. If you look at like traditional investing styles, for example, you take Warren Buffett, which everybody talks about Warren Buffett and his investing genius or whatever. The guy's worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and his portfolio is literally like 20 stocks. And if you have the faith and conviction to put $200-300 billion into only 20 stocks, if you're somebody like me who don't have a lot of money, why would you have $2,000, $3,000, $10,000, or $20,000 in 30 or 40 stocks? It don't make sense. So I basically did the Warren Buffett method. I took my little bit of money and made it highly concentrated into one or two positions that I believe were going to pay me money and help me grow the portfolio. And as the portfolio grown, then I add a few more stocks. And for me personally, I think if you have $100,000 or less, you do not need more than 5 positions. Like 5 positions is really all you should have in your portfolio if you have $100,000 or less. And if you want diversification, then you should be buying, not financial advice, but me personally, I would rather buy index-based funds instead of single stocks. That gives you diversification without buying 20 freaking stocks, right? You buy one and that one might own 20 or 30 or 400 instead of buying all those individual stocks. You're limiting your risk that way. It's more conservative. So that's how I approach things. And that's why I only have 2 positions. Now, in this portfolio, you can see my positions are MSTY and ULTY. Okay, MSTY was the one that I started this portfolio with, and I've had it for almost a whole year, which I'll take you into the spreadsheet and show that with you in just a moment. And ULT is a brand new position that I just purchased the other day when the market was red, because everybody keeps saying you should buy ULT, you should buy ULT, you should buy ULT. So, I'm not risking anything here. So I went ahead and bought ULT with my own money to show you guys what it's like investing in ULT, especially in this current market conditions. The market's been going up. ULT's been staying flat, and I've said personally, I've voiced my own personal opinion that I don't like ULT, and I don't think it's a good buy. But everybody keeps talking about it, so I'll spend my own money on it, buy it, and show you guys what really happens with it. So that being said, let's look at these positions. MSTY, if I open it up here, you can see I've got 200 shares of MSTY, and my average 2176. I'll show you the behind the scenes in a moment though. The next one that I have, which I just told you guys, was the ULTY, brand new position for me. I've picked up 50 shares only. And as I just showed you guys, I do have $274 in cash. So my plan is on the next red day, I'm going to buy more ULT. I'm going to put that whole 274 into ULT, because ULT does pay each and every single week. So this does help compound the portfolio faster. And Misty only pays once a month, but the dividends were really great, but they're slowly dropping. So, but anyway, the basic goal of this portfolio is, like I said, number 1, to show you guys how I grow a portfolio from scratch. And number 2, the dividends that I receive from this portfolio, the plan is to use that money to pay for my rent here in Asia. Because here in Asia, no matter where you are, I'm in China right now, China, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, anywhere, you can live really cheap on a budget. And I'm showing you guys that I can use this small portfolio, small amount of money to actually pay my rent here, to live here and keep a roof over my head for very, very cheap. Now, if you're interested in this kind of life, I am creating a free course as well. And I already uploaded the first lesson. I created a playlist for it, so you can check that out if you want. I'll be releasing new lessons at least once per week, if not twice per week. So if you guys want to see how I created a life of freedom through passive income and other methods as well, I'm going to share all that stuff with you guys, all the steps that I went through and all the things that I did to create the life that I have of freedom and happiness and health and all these things. All of it's going to be included in the course, and it's for free. So check that out. So anyway, let's go have a look at the spreadsheet, and I want to share with you guys behind the scenes how long I've been doing this in this portfolio, so you guys can see how fast or how slow it grows, as well as all the performance metrics and all that other stuff. So let me record the screen on my computer here, and I'm gonna take you guys in here and show you. Let me see, new screen recording. 3, 2, 1, bam. All right, so here we are in my spreadsheet where I track all this stuff, and I'll make it bigger so you guys can see. I can't see very well either, so, okay, so here we are. You see the blue box there, MSTY, and let me scroll over here. So you can see the number of shares is exactly the same as I just showed you in the portfolio. I've got nothing to hide from you guys. I'm 100% transparent. I share with you guys all the good stuff and all the bad stuff. So if something sucks and I do bad things and make huge mistakes, I share it with you guys, hoping that you guys can learn a little bit from, the mistakes I made, so you don't make the same mistakes. So anyway, down here, ULTY, ULT, my brand new position. I got 50 shares of that. I just showed that with you in the real portfolio. So the cost average, everything's the same, nothing to hide from you guys. If you look down here at the very bottom, my cash, same as I just showed you, 274, which is 6% of the portfolio is cash. But like I said, I'm about to spend this as soon as I get a chance. So let's go have a look at the returns, and then we'll talk about some more stuff about the goals and how this has been working out and all that stuff. Let me get this all over here so you guys can see it easy. Okay, so first one, MSTY. You can see the market return is down. It took a big hit the other day. It was positive for me, but you can't be positive all the time when the market takes these kind of big red days and all that stuff, volatility in the market right now. Anyway, total return, 559. Total return is 12.85%. So this position, you know, if I sold it, I would walk away with more money than I started with. So, you know, it's not bad. Walk away with 12% more money. Can't complain there. The next position I have is ULTY. And as I mentioned, this is a brand new position, but I did just get paid from this because I bought this on, I think it was on Wednesday. And then, you know, I got paid on Friday. Oh, by the way, Webull usually pays late, even though Yomax pays their dividends on Friday usually. Webull keeps the money until Monday. So I don't get paid until Monday in this portfolio. The other ones I get paid on Friday. But anyway, total return is minus 0.16%. So no big deal, but this needs some time, right? This is brand new. So this is gonna take some time to, you know, do its thing. If it does its thing, it might not do anything. So let's go have a look at the dividend log here. So you can see up here, let me make this bigger again. It's hard to see. So you can see up here, I got two positions, MSTY and ALTI. And I started this, you can see, in September of 2024. So it's been almost a year now. Like I said, I started with $300 basically a year ago, and I put in $150 to $300 per month of my own money. So you can do the math on that. 12 months or 11 months, let's say 300 a month, right? 11 months, that's $3,300. The portfolio is valued at like $4,300. So it has made money, but you can see it's growing very slow. When you start with 300 bucks and it's been a whole year and now I got 4,300. So here's the dividends I received on Misty over the past year: $1.85, $12.59, $13.26. You can see December was a low payment. The dividend was low. I didn't sell anything or nothing like that. Next one, January, jumped to 31, 60, 75, 145, 237, 147, 173. And this month in August, I got paid $228 from MSTY. And I just received my very first payment from ALTI, which is $3. But ALTI pays each and every single week. And so this is going to receive at least 3 more payments this month, maybe 4. So I'll get more payments here. So I'm going to make more income this month than what I've already made. But if you scroll over here to the side, you can actually see that this month I made $231 so far, and we still got 3 or 4 more payments coming. So maybe I'll make 250 bucks this month. And like I said, the whole goal of this portfolio is to actually pay my rent here in Asia. And currently right now, I actually did a house tour of my apartment. If you guys want to see it, I'll try to put a link to the video in the description. But I pay $200 a month for this apartment. So this $231 I made in income right here is already enough to pay for my rent here. Now, if I'm living somewhere in, say, Philippines, in the province, or Thailand or something like that, I can live even cheaper. I was just in the Philippines, and I can easily live in the Philippines, like all in, rent, food, everything included, for about $700 a month. If I'm not in Manila or Cebu, like if I'm out in the province, $700 a month is plenty to live in the Philippines. So this $231 is already enough to cover the rent cost or possibly the food cost for an entire month. So with only $4,300 invested, I already have enough money to pay my rent each and every single month here in Asia, if I live frugally and the things that I teach you in my course, which is free. So I'll show you guys all that stuff, but as you can see, not doing too bad. And that's basically how I started all of my portfolios. I just started with a larger amount of money, but that's how I got started in all my portfolios, and that's how I started this one. And we're going to continue to grow this one. And actually, I guess the goal now at this point, because typically on a monthly basis, I usually spend here in China, about anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a month. And that's living a regular middle class, normal lifestyle. I cook at home a few days a week. I go out to eat nice food a few days a week. I go to the gym. I basically do anything and everything I want to do anytime I want to do it. And I spend less than $1,500, usually $1,000 to $1,200. So the goal of this portfolio will be to generate about, let's just say $1,500 a month. So that way I have a little bit of cushion in case something happens. But this isn't my only portfolio. As you guys know, I have several. I have 5 portfolios. But it would be nice to be able to grow this one to be able to cover all of my living expenses where I can live the same lifestyle I have now and not even touch my other portfolios, and let those just grow and grow and grow and compound and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So that would be the overall goal of this portfolio, but it is a slow process because I'm not putting a lot of money in, as I've told you guys. So just little by little every single month. These positions are not on drip. Okay, the cash just goes right back into the cash fund of the portfolio. But I do reinvest the cash right now. But like I said, eventually with this portfolio, not if, but when this portfolio gets to the $1,000, $1,500 a month area, I probably will not reinvest any of it. I would just use the money totally to live off of so I can keep growing my other portfolios instead of using those. So that's the plan, and that's what's happening in this portfolio, and that's how I got started, and that's how I'm growing a small account from scratch. So if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, I would love to hear those down below. Also, don't forget, like I said, the free course I am releasing each and every single week. I put a playlist here for that. So if you go to the playlist, you can watch from lesson 1 all the way to lesson 24, probably. I think there's 24 lessons. Like I said, they're not all out yet, but I have finished the whole course. I'm just haven't recorded the whole thing. So next video is coming soon. So check that out if you guys want. And lastly, as you guys know, I've told you guys before, I did write a book about all the struggles and all the hardships I went through from growing up poor and lots of trauma and violence and all kind of things that I went through in my life. At one point in time, I even ended up homeless and no direction, no nothing. And I moved to Asia, found some purpose, some peace, some happiness. And then after that, I started doing business and investing and all these other things that led me to have the life that I have today. And all that information is right here in my personal story. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave the link below. I've got a lot of good reviews and comments about the book, so I think a lot of people enjoy it. It's a short, quick read. If you guys want to check that out, go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys soon. Y'all take care.